What's up everyone, back with another video. This time I'm going to be reviewing a horror masterpiece, in my opinion, John Carpenter's The Fog. Before I get into it, I'll give you a brief rundown of the synopsis. The sleepy seaside village of Antonio Bay is about to learn the true meaning of the word vengeance. This seemingly perfect town masks a guilty secret, a past steeped in greed and murder. Exactly 100 years ago, a ship was horribly wrecked under mysterious circumstances and a thick, eerie fog. Now shrouded in darkness, the long-dead mariners have returned from their watery grave to exact bloody vengeance. That is the synopsis of The Fog. And what I love about this movie is that its plot and its overall skeleton is so simple. This is a simple ghost revenge story. And because it was written by co-written by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, directed by John Carpenter, and to me, it stands out as a more technically competent movie, as opposed to some hack director would take a story like this, which they eventually did in a remake and just butcher it. John Carpenter, on the other hand, is very Hitchcock influenced, so he takes that slow burn approach. He builds tension. He tries to develop the characters. And to me, my favorite characters in this movie are Tom Atkins' character of Nick Castle, and Hal Holbrook as Father Malone, and of course you got Adriana Barbeau, who was great. You got Jamie Lee Curtis, who was in the beginning of her Scream Queen phase, and you also have Janet Leigh, Marion Crane from Psycho herself in this movie. So, in my opinion, Fog has one of the best horror casts in an 80s movie. Pretty much all those 80s staples are in this movie, and how can you hate a movie like that? Really? When you have a all-star horror cast, awesome. Not only that, to me, you got class actors who actually know what they're doing and actually respect the craft of what they're doing. To me, it's fun. It's good. I like the romantic chemistry that develops between Tom Atkins and Jamie Lee Curtis. Adrienne Barbeau's character, Stevie Wayne, and this other character, Dan, played by Charles Cypher's Sheriff Beck from the original Halloween. They never share screen time together. They're always talking on the phone. But I like that quasi-pseudo-romantic bantering that goes between those two as well. To me, it's fun. It lightens up the levity a lot. Not only that, Charles Cypher's character as Dan has some funny bits here and there, and I like it. I like Hal Holbrook's Father Malone character. I really like how he plays Father Malone as someone who is racked with racked with guilt after learning the true secret of the town of Antonio Bay, and how he refuses to take part in something that was built on, pretty much a murder. He feels that they're honoring murders, and knowing what happened to these people 100 years ago, I like how he plays the character Father Malone so well. Janet Leigh's role as a mayor type character, she's fun as well. I like the chemistry between her and Nancy Allen. It's very antagonistic, but it's antagonistic in a playful way, because both those two characters do have a certain amount of respect for one another, which I like. And I also like the interactions that play between our five main principals, like I said. And I want to go on record, to me, Adriana Barbeau does not get enough credit for being a very striking looking woman, because in the 80s, Barbeau looked dynamite. Hair, everything. Good looking woman back then. Very good looking woman. And also, very underrated actress, because Adriana Barbeau is one of my favorite parts of this movie. She plays Stevie Wayne, who's like a radio DJ. And she pretty much acts, she's in a lighthouse for the majority of the movie, so she's pretty much the eyes of the town. Because she has the power of the radio, she can let people know when the fog is coming, where the fog is going. She acts almost as the voice that you need to hear to avoid any certain danger. And to go on Carpenter now, this movie's filled with a lot of tension-fueled scenes, and probably one of my favorite scenes is when Stevie Wayne's when Adriana Barbeau's son's character is trapped inside their house, and the ghost, they killed the babysitter, and they're going to get the son, and it's a very tension-fueled scene with the music, and you got, Adriana Barbeau on the radio, hysterical, begging for someone to save her son, and you got Tom Atkins' character and Jamie Lee Curtis. They're racing against time to try and save. It's a very beautifully directed, tension-fueled scene, and I love it. I love it a lot, actually. And there's also another cool, and of course, that whole ending sequence when they're all trapped into church and the ghosts are trying to get them in there. Along with the music, which was also done by Carpenter, really heightens everything up. And I love this movie. To me, this movie has no flaws. This is like the perfect horror movie. I even like the prologue in the beginning, where this character is telling ghost stories to a bunch of kids. It was like that. That sets the tone and really gives this movie that kind of like that, campfire ghost story, type feel to it, which just heightens my enjoyment of it to a T. Now, there's obviously a lot more I can say to talk about this movie, but I don't want to. I want you guys to watch this movie and discover it for yourself and give your own and see. And I want to know what you thought about it, because just because I give it high praise, someone else might not feel the same. I may feel this is one of Carpenter's best movies. Others will say, this movie's boring and it's blah. But to me, this movie is, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to give this movie a perfect 10. To me, this is the perfect, this is the perfect campfire ghost story. Writing is on point, the acting is great, direction is awesome, and it keeps you hooked all the way until that last scene. And to me, that's what a true horror movie does. It keeps you hooked all the way to the end. I'm AJ Legend. Like, comment, subscribe. Check you back next time.